Okay, so 13.4 homework, we're headed to 574, so join with me. The chapter of sequences is over, so the first day we did this, everything was just kind of like done creatively. There weren't really rules or formulas for you to follow, you just had to create things, and that was harder for some people, easier for other people. It's up to you if you're still creating. Day 2, they were all a certain type that started with A. What was the A type of problems?
Wasn't it arithmetic?
Arithmetic was the word of that day. What did arithmetic mean it kept doing? Adding. So there was a thing called the general term that you could still continue to be creative if you wanted to. Or if you like memorizing formulas better, memorize a formula to use on the test later this week and use it. You did from arithmetic day have to memorize 2 different formulas for the sum because you couldn't do the sums without the formulas, so if you haven't memorized those yet, do it. Then section 3, we did a different type of series that continued into the previous lesson. What was the more recent one? Geometric. Geometric meant that it kept on multiplying. So the first day we did geometric, you needed to memorize a general formula if you didn't want to be creative anymore. And then there was a sum formula you needed to memorize. 13.4, we need to know a couple more things. So here's a reteach of 13.4, and then we'll make everybody do a problem in just a second. So the directions on this say, for each of these series, find R. What does the R stand for?
Ratio.
Ratio. So whether you were here, whether you weren't here, whether you did it, whether you didn't do it, here's how you could find the ratio. Somebody give us a friendly bit of advice. How can you find the ratio for any problem ever?
You divide.
Divide which things? In which order? Because division is picky.
The
Second term and then the first term.
Okay, we could do second term divided by first term. Really, we could do any term divided by the one to its left. So I guess I should say any term but the first one, because that doesn't have anything to its left. But pretty much any term, divide by the one to its left, that gives us the ratio. So number 1, just for group illustration, what would be the ratio for number 1? 2. It is 2. So in a minute, you'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll just go around in order. But for number 1, the ratio would be 2. So anybody a question about how to find the ratio? Okay, let's skip as a group for a second to 14. For 14, again, how would we do the ratio? Divide the second by the first, or the third by the second, or something, anything like that. Anybody 14 have confidence in your ratio?
0.6.
It is 0.6. If you like fractions better, it's 3/5. Whatever you like is fine with me. But that's goal 1, is find the ratio. Anybody have a question about accomplishing goal 1, find the ratio? So take a sec, find your ratio, and we'll start firing. You ready? What do you think?
1/2.
It is a half. Number 2 ratio would be a half. 3 is a third. 4. Close. Negative 2. 5. 0.1 would be fine.
2/3.
2/3 is fine. 7.
Is it -5?
I'll come back. 8.
I got 5/7.
I'll come back. 9
1/2.
is a half. 10.
3/2.
Let me come back. Maybe you're messy.
Is that 3/7?
3/7 is true. 11. 1/2. 12. Let me come back for 12. 13. 1/10 or 0.1 would win. So again, ratios, divide any term by the one to its left. Use your calculator if you have to. If you have fractions, you flip the second fraction when you divide. So maybe people are upside down. What do you
I
have?
got 7/5.
Yeah, 8 is 7/5. That's true.
Wait, can I go get my notebook real quick?
Sure.
Negative.
7 is -1/5. That's true.
Ow. My bad.
12. Give you a second. Anybody need an explanation on ratio while we're waiting a sec for 12? You're going to divide any term by the one to its left. And since you're dividing fractions, you either use a calculator if you're uncomfortable with that, or you flip the fraction you're dividing by. So if you're doing it like pencil and paper way, pick a fraction, divide by the one to its left, which flips the one to its left. It is not. So if you go like, you could do 4/3 divided by who? 4/3 divided by which one? Answer is a half? Yeah. I'm with you. Yes. 12 is a half. Anybody question about ratio making? Okay, then choice 2 was not in the directions, but choice 2 was just directions that I made up. The directions said this for some of them, but not all of them. There were 2 words of the day. What were the 2 words?
Something with C.
Some with a C, which is converge. Diverge is the other one. What did it mean if it was either word? What did it mean?
Converge you do.
Converge we can do.
Diverge you can't.
Diverge we can't. Why converge we could do?
Because
Because it keeps going down.
The numbers are going down in size. Diverge we can't do because the numbers are going up in size. Or if we talked about the ratio, what was true about the ratios?
they are under 1 or
Under 1 in value, which meant, which one was under 1 in value?
converge.
Converge. Diverge was over 1 in value. So for, let's do group review and then we'll do the same lap with the same numbers for the same people. Number 1, does it converge or diverge?
Diverge.
Diverges. One way you could decide that is to see that the numbers keep getting bigger. Another way you could do that is by looking at the ratio we said was 2, and if that's more than 1, it's diverge. So 1, we'd say diverge. 14 was the other group one we did. 14 would converge because the numbers continue to get smaller, or with a ratio of 0.6, that's under 1. Any ratio that's under 1 in value makes it converge. Any ratio more than 1 in value makes it diverge. Does anybody want me to remind about what's up with 1 diverging, what's up with 14 converging, and how your life will be affected on your problem? Question about that? Okay, so what do you say about 2?
Converge.
It does converge. So in a minute, you'll have to find the sum. 3?
Converge.
It converges. So in a minute, you'll need to find the sum. 4?
Diverge.
Diverges. So you're lucky, you're done. 5 converges, so you'll need to, in a minute, find the sum. 6?
Converge.
Converge, so in a minute, you'll need to find the sum. 7?
It diverges.
It
It's
converges.
the one that I have to find.
You're going to have to find the sum. 8?
Diverge.
Diverges, so it's your lucky day, you're done. But you can help him if he gets stuck, if you want to be a nice
He
neighbor.
got it. He got it.
He got it.
Number 9 to Enzo. Converges, so you'll find the sum. 10.
Converge.
Converge, so you'll find the sum.
Got it.
11.
Converge.
Converge, so you'll find the sum. 12.
Diverge.
Sorry, converges, you'll find the sum. It converges because they're getting smaller or because the ratio was under 1. 13. Converges, so you have to find the sum. Question about how you know who's which type. When you go to find the sum, what's the deal?
How do you get my pencil?
When you go to find the sum, you put A1.
A1, what's A1?
It's the first term.
It's the first term.
1 minus
1 minus R, where R stands for ratio. If you had a negative ratio, what do you have to be careful of? If the ratio was negative. Minus minus makes plus there. If you're using a calculator heavily to do the math for you, what punctuation exists on parentheses? So if you're using a machine, go parentheses around the bottom. if you're gonna go pencil paper, what's this symbol mean you have to do? Divide. And you're probably dividing a fraction, which means you have to flip. So if we go to tackle number 1, it diverged, so we just take a pass on that. If we go to do 14, we'd go 4 on top, because that's first. 1 minus 0.6, because that was the ratio. And then if you want to do the math, 1 minus 0.6 is 0.4. If you divide 4 by 0.4, we have to do the move over move. This is like 4 into 4D, making it 10. If you want to use a calculator, just push some buttons. It'll still be 10. But 14, the sum would be 10 from using the formula on the board. 1, we just say no thanks. Question about using the formula? So, let me know when you're ready for 2, and then we'll start making
I got
it.
8.
Something funny happened there. Come back to 2, 3.
5.7.
Something funny happened on 3, 5.
1
1 1/9 works. 1.1 repeating works. 10 over 9 would work. Those all work. 6.
-5.
-5 works. 7. You need some time still.
I'm having bug problems, but
Okay.
is it 5 over 6?
It is 5 over 6. That's true.
I might have it.
You got it.
32.
2 is 32. That's true.
So I missed it.
9.
Is it 8?
It is 8. 10.
12.25.
12.25 is fine. 49 over 4. 12 and a fourth. Those all work. 11.
1 over -1/2.
Something funny happened there, so let me come back 11. 12. Okay, I'll be back 12. 13. 160 over 9 is fine. That's going to be like 17 and some change, I think. Maybe 17.7 repeating, I think, something like that. Anybody ready, fixer-uppers?
12 to 3.
Something funny happened there. Did you go 1 minus a third there?
Oh, I did that.
Okay. Because your ratio was a third, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it 2?
It is 11 is 2. That's true. It is 9. Number 3 is 9. Anybody need any reminders, guidance while we wait just a sec for 12?
How do you do it?
So we're going to go first term, divide by, and then in parentheses go 1 minus, for yours, a half was your ratio we agreed a minute ago. So you could go 4/3, or the first term, 8/3, divided by, and then throw in parentheses 1 minus half.
Over
16 over 3. Did you just misread? Or did it say something about a 13?
I did it too. It says 6.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a lie. Go, if you do 8/3 and then the divided by button, and then have in parentheses 1 minus half.
If you put 8/3 there, it's supposed
Oh,
to
it's
go
the
1.
first term.
No,
Oh,
it's 1.
minus. Oh.
Yeah, first term is 8/3, then divide by,
Okay.
and then in
1
parentheses
minus
1
ratio.
minus half. Did that play?
I mean, that's the answer probably, right? So,
Yeah, you did do it right.
yeah.
Did it work that time?
Yeah, I just did 8/3 on the top and bottom.
Okay, yeah, that would make a difference. Yeah, the top you do the first term, the 8/3. The bottom, 1 minus ratio, on that story, it was gonna be a
Yeah, I
half.
thought it was A1, A1.
So you're good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Were you able to push the button successfully? You're good? Okay. That's what I got on 574. If you have that all the way done, send it. If you have other homeworks you're working on, we have plenty of time to kill. I'd be happy to pop back to 570 and help you if there's issues. I'd be happy to go back to 564 or even 558 if there's issues. Those homeworks are all due by tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a sheet due that's been in your possession since last week. So sheet is the #1 priority for class tomorrow. But the homework deadline for this chapter is also tomorrow. So any pages you need, that's a tomorrow game.